I'm pleased to have here with me Mr. Ameyaw Debrah, who is known professionally as Ameyaw Debrah, a Ghanaian celebrity blogger, freelance journalist, and reporter. He founded AmeyawDebrah.com, an entertainment website and blog that primarily publishes news about Ghanaian celebrities. He graduated from Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology with a bachelor's degree in publishing. Whilst in Kenya University, he won the Best Publishing Student Award in 2005. He has made significant contributions to several Pan-African websites, including modernghana.com. Thank you so much for answering my invitation.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's quickly delve into the world of arts journalism. So how do you define arts journalism?
Well, for me, it's a special branch of journalism which focuses on highlighting art, culture, the pulse of people. And it cuts across different spheres, from entertainment to the creative art itself, and all other forms of art that come in between. I believe in this current world that we find ourselves, we see a lot of culture being portrayed across platforms by people who go by their day-to-day life and capture the essence of what life is, in terms of what they are doing, what they are passionate about, and they share it with the rest of the world. And I think that is a new form that journalism in general is taking and is being consumed more and more.
So what do you think is the essence of arts journalism?
Well, for me, I think it's a representation of who we are, what we want to do, our aspirations as a people, what defines us. We want to share that with ourselves and then the rest of the world. So it's important. It preserves who we are because we have to chronicle for people to see now and also in the future. Sometimes I look back and I'm looking at a representation of who we are, what we want to do, our aspirations as a people, what defines us. We want to share that with ourselves and then the rest of the world. So it's important. It preserves who we are because we have to chronicle for people to see now and also in the future. Sometimes I look back and I'm looking for maybe details about events, something that happened, about what somebody has said, and then I search on the internet and it points back to some of the things that we did so many years ago, and you're like, okay. So even though when we are creating it, we think we are telling the story of it now, we sort of build on history archives that can also be studied or picked and used in the future. And so that's the initial expectation.
Okay, so in your view, what's the future of arts journalism in Ghana?
Well, the future is bright. I mean, art is something that is not art. It's a big thing. It's a big umbrella for a lot of things, and it's not dying anytime soon. So there is the future for the journalists depends on what happens in the space around art in the future. Because if nothing is happening, you will not be able to create out of the vacuum. So as art evolves, as appreciation for art evolves, then there is more future for coverage as a journalist, because then there's an interest for what you're doing and the subject you're talking about. So for me, I think the future is not going to end anytime soon. It's just going to take different shapes. Currently, maybe how people consume it is becoming more digital, but we don't know what the future
how that switch is going to be. Yeah.
So do you think the government have a role to play in this?
On which side?
Promoting art journalism.
Well, yes, I think the role the government would have to play is perhaps creating policies so that those who practice art are able to thrive and and grow, so that everything else will follow. But I don't think it's so much the business of the government to see that an artist or his art form grows. It now becomes left for the artist and how people appreciate what that person is doing. And then we, as those creating and reporting on those art forms or experiences, are also able to project for people to see that, oh, this is, and so it's happening, and all of that. So I think for when it comes to the government side, is putting in place the right policies. I'm sure issues of copyright, trademark, and all of those things, once they are taken care of, royalties and all of once all those things are taken care of in terms of structure, policies, then those practicing it can really be protected. They can earn from what they are doing, and everything else would sort of fit into it.
Okay, so to draw the curtains down, what advice would you give to aspiring journalists who are entering the field in this digital age?
Well, I'd say find what your interest is and sort of master it. You can focus on one
Be the same as somebody doing another thing, which perhaps is more
popular, and so your expectations may not be the same. You must know the system and know what you can get, so that you don't get frustrated and give up along the way. So yes, read. There are lots of information on the internet. Pretty much, if you want to build a plane, you can even learn on the internet now. So yeah.
So lastly, what skills and qualities do you think they are supposed to possess in order to carry on with this?
Well, I think you must be observant. You must be creative. You must have a good listening ear, and you must be passionate. You must want to differentiate yourself from what exists. You may want to have that analytical eye, that you're able to see angles that people may not necessarily pay attention to. These are some of the things that will make your work unique. And yes, take feedback, ask questions if you don't know. You cannot know everything. And so read, ask questions, watch what other people are doing, see what's trending, learn new ideas, because even the platforms we are using constantly are changing, and so you must educate yourself about those platforms, what they're looking at, what's new, what's changing, and then work with it.
So, unfortunately, this is the end of our conversation. Indeed, it has been an insightful one, and I'm looking forward to having more conversations with you. Thank you so
Pleasure.
much.